That about sums it up. So, welcome to the Five Regions Sports Post Game Show. The post up. Um, yeah, the faces of this panel pretty much sum up what most of Heat Nation is feeling. The Heat drop a game 109 to 106 to the Pacers in overtime. A game in which they played like absolute dog shit for most of it. You got games from Jimmy, you got a good game from Bam, and absolutely nothing else from anybody else offensively. Um, Duncan Robinson, horrible. Tyler Hero might have been worse. His shot selection at this point has become the bane of my existence. I hate that goddamn transition three-pointer that he shoots that he never makes. But I'm not going to sit over here and I'm not going to just hold y'all up on this good Sunday. Like your preachers would say, I'm not going to hold you long. So we're going to introduce the panel with me. We got Brian, we got Gad, we got Ariel. Thank you guys for showing up after this clusterfuck of a basketball game. I'm going to throw this to you first, Gad. What did you see this afternoon?
I saw a team that needs more than one piece. They need a lot of trades. They need they need some to be shaken up. Because you look at what Bam was able to do, he quite literally dominated this game, and it still didn't add up to much because the shot selection was terrible. The shots were terrible. I mean, the shot selection really on Hero's part. The shooting was horrible. The defense, the rotations were not good. I mean, your problems really boil down to 14, 55, and 9. Just not enough.
they don't cut it. So we want to shout out to the guy Milos for the $5 dono. He said this should have been over when we went up 5 in overtime. As soon as Sabonis fouled out of that game, we should have taken control of it and we should have ran away with this game. But stupid shit just kept us losing, and they kept chipping away at it. Brian, what did you see this afternoon? I don't even know what the fuck to call this.
I saw a team that apparently can't score. I don't know how you end a game with 109 points when you've played in overtime. Like that, the offense is horrible. I mean, I don't even want to say they played well enough defensively because obviously not. If I don't know what it is, man. Like they're missing open threes. People are taking terrible shots. It felt like when they got to the rim, good things were happening. But I mean, if you look at the shooting percentage, obviously not. 40% from the field overall. They probably I can't say the turnover. Oh, okay, they managed to keep it. They managed to keep pace with the Pacers in turnovers, but it still feels like overall this offense is just broken. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, so I think the problem with the offense is something that's been alluded to several times over, and it's that certain players who we expected to contribute just are not doing that. Tyler Hero has not contributed. Like he just not even close. Like people can look at his stats, and you can tell me about the stats all you want to. His stats do not watch this goddamn game. He was horrendous. He made some timely shots towards the end of the game, but for the most part, Tyler Hero was fucking atrocious during this game, just like Duncan Robinson outside of the one big three that he hit was fucking atrocious this game. Kelly Olynyk was fucking atrocious this game. Like everybody on this, I'm sorry. Ariel, what is your analysis from this game?
Geez, I don't even know what to say. I'm really discouraged with this team. You just came off of 2 straight games against a rival team that's, gunning for your spot in the standings that you played a first round series against last year. And the Pacers straight up for almost the entire 8.5, whatever you want to call overtime quarters of this series, out executed and out hustled the Heat. They were attacking the weak points in Miami's defense, spraying the ball around till they could get to that corner 3, which Miami gives up repeatedly, like nonstop. And then they were crashing the offensive glass. And I haven't even looked at the rebounding numbers. This is all eye test because these games were so frustrating. But it felt like they pounded the Heat on the offensive glass. Every time the Heat were trying to get back in this game, really up until the fourth quarter, the Pacers, if they get a stop, the Pacers will get the offensive rebound, go right back up, get to the free throw line. Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, I'm over it. I'm done with the experiment.
Oddly enough,
you want to call it.
He had the same amount of offensive rebounds today.
That's
Yeah.
absurd.
I
That's
think our problem
like
is we
one of
don't-
those
We actually
lying
out
stats.
rebounded them overall by
Shit.
1.
We do not capitalize on anything. Fast break, we can't do shit. Tyler's doing stupid shit on fast breaks.
Oh, please.
Offensive rebounds, we go up to Miles Turner again. How many times did Hero get blocked on a layup today? Has
At
it been
least
4 or
like
5?
a million.
At least,
At least
yeah.
3 times.
At least
Bro,
You
three
would
times.
think for someone
He
that
got blocked
loves to
twice
just pull
in
up
one
and
fucking
transition.
possession.
Within 8 seconds.
Like,
Dude,
bro, I want to shout out the guy SRT Dre for the 199. Don't know. He said fire sale, blow it up, try again next year. Listen, like I've been trying to hold off on the whole blow the team up thing because I've been so down on players, but I wanted to keep some level of optimism. Not today though. It's impossible, bro. Like it's $5 donut from Alex V. He said get Norman Powell and Lowry. Listen, bro.
yes, sir.
Listen, there are several moves that I would entertain at this point. Like it's a lot of things that you see with this team. Let's talk some about the rebounding. Even though we out rebounded them 1 and we apparently played them to a draw in the offensive glass, during the game, it felt like their rebounds had more impact on what was going on in the game than our rebounds were having. And it's primarily because when we get the rebound, we go back up, they block it a fucking again, and then they get the ball back, and then they're back on the other end. As opposed to them, they get an offensive rebound, and they're converting baskets out of those opportunities. So I'll throw this to Ariel. Ariel, talk about some of the rebounding issues that you saw from the game today.
I mean, I just think the Heat got out-competed. I don't think it's a schematic thing so much. I mean, part of it is the fact that they don't really have personnel. The Heat have a personnel problem with regards to rebounding.
Come on,
the ball.
Ricky.
They don't have a bunch of great rebounders on the team, and frankly, I thought the Pacers played harder. They competed harder, and that's actually a really good point that you raised, Royal. I totally agree with you. I think that the rebounding stats might be a little bit skewed because when you get your shot blocked and you get the ball back, that's a rebound for your team. So I don't really know if you know, it didn't feel like you said. It didn't feel like the Heat did a very good job on the boards. I think in the fourth quarter they did better. Like everything was better in the fourth quarter, and you know the energy level that everything went up for the Heat. But I mean, man, that's 2 straight games where for the majority of both games, you got bent over a barrel and you know what. So something's got to change here because that's about as discouraging a thing as you can see from your team. And I'm glad that it happened right before the trade deadline.
So we want to shout out to Noble Demon Tim for the $5 dono. He said Sabonis was the sole difference between last year's series and this season.
No,
I don't think so.
Don't say that.
He said I should have seen that coming. Also, wait for the offseason for Oladipo. Look, I mean, that's all a matter of whether or not you're trying to compete now or if you honestly, like, I don't believe there's anybody at this point who can honestly watch this team and say, I think this team has the potential to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. It just does not. We look like a first-round exit. Like, and that's just kind of what it is. We're inconsistent as hell. And if Jimmy isn't playing at the MVP level, which in this case, he played very well. Him and Bam played phenomenal. Like, we got aggressive Bam tonight. We got
Bam
Jimmy
was great.
doing this. Bam was great tonight. And then, or this afternoon. And we didn't get shit from the rest of the roster. And I think that's kind of like what people have been missing is that we need to improve around the margins. Like, we love Bam and we love Jimmy, but for people to place so much stock into Hero and Duncan Robinson, at this point, I don't know what you need to see to show that those players, they're just not. They're not what we thought they were. Okay, and so I think we're beginning to see the other half, and I believe they're somewhere in the middle. But God damn, no, bro. Like, those who are our primary shooters. So let's switch this to shooting. Gad, I want you to talk about the three-point shooting or the lack thereof from Miami and how, like, over the past couple of games, we haven't hit more than 10 goddamn threes. And that's 3 games in a row.
It is legitimately a problem. This offense is predicated on three-point shooting. And Spo caught lightning in a bottle last year when he had career years from pretty much everybody from the three-point line. And now maybe it's over-regressing a little bit. Like, I think there will be a hot streak. Hopefully these players are not around to see that hot streak for us because I don't give a shit. Like, if you are going to be on the court and you are supposed to be a three-point specialist, a shooter, and you are not hitting shots, you are unplayable. And that is what you're seeing. You're seeing a bunch of guys who have been unplayable for the last few games. And now that Jimmy is not giving you a virtuoso performance, he's not giving you 29, 9, and 9 because he can't. You don't want him to do. I mean, you want him to do that every night, but you don't expect that every single night from Jimmy. This is more of what, maybe a little bit better than this, but this is about a Jimmy game. And Bam played great. You can't have these guys that turn into a black hole on offense because they settle. They settle. They don't put pressure on the rim. They don't try to draw fouls. They just take ill-advised shots, whether it's open or not. If you're just shooting like shit, Get something better. You're wide open. Try to dribble to the lane, and you have a 2-on-1 going to the basket with Bam rolling to the rim. Like, there's other ways to go about this. Just because it's a wide open shot doesn't mean you need to take the three. But I mean, listen, at the end of the day, shooters need to hit shots, and we're just not doing that. And that's a big part of our offense. I'm honestly so mad right now. It's ridiculous.
Bro, so I'm seeing a few commenters saying that we're overreacting again, and I'm just going to tell y'all straight up, to hell with that shit. Like, I do not care about your opinion right now, bro. I am not overreacting. It is something that I've seen consistently from this team, bro. Go ahead,
at a certain point, we got to stop moving the goalposts and face what this team really is. Because earlier in the season, when they weren't playing well, it was, well, you know, they had a short off season, and then they had the COVID problems, and then they had injuries and whatever. Okay, fine. Then when everyone started getting back, it was, well, now they're missing Goran. Well, now they're missing Iggy. Or, well, now they can't shoot very well. Guys, at a certain point, you got to be realistic about the product that you're seeing on the court. There is a certain, you know, you can't say that there's no room for improvement with the current product, but at the end of the day, man, they're 22 and 21. We've seen them struggle against good teams, save for literally 2 wins this season against really good teams.
And struggle against bad teams as well.
And consistently struggle against bad teams. And then on you know, in the past 2 games, in games where you're playing another team that's, you fully expect them to be right where you're at, or right around where you're at in the standings by the end of the season. Y'all just played in the first round and had a competitive series. They showed very little fire except for the fourth quarter of this past game. Other than that, they got out-hustled, out-energied, out-everything, out-executed. So, man, like, it's enough with I don't think we're overreacting. We're being realistic, and you guys got to start facing the music if you're not with that.
Yeah, so I want to say thanks to our guy Ricky J. Mark for joining us today, and then I want to address Jonathan's question, because I thought it was a really good question, and I want everybody to get a chance to answer it. So I'll start with Brian, and then we'll go to Ricky. Who played the worst game tonight? Was it Tyler, Duncan, or was it KO?
You know, all right. So for me, it's between Tyler and KO. I want to say KO because he was missing so many goddamn open threes, right? And this is coming off of him playing really, really well. And I think that we all expected that because, you know, historically, even though the numbers with Bam have been pretty good, he's played so much better with Bam out of the lineup. So maybe this is just who KO is. We kind of expect this, but it's really hard to look at Tyler Hero's game tonight. See him take ill-advised shot after ill-advised shot. The defense wasn't there to begin with. It's just so hard not to get frustrated with that guy. So I'm gonna go with Hero just because I feel like he had multiple possessions that in a 3-point game it screws you, right? So that's my guy.
So I want to shout out SRT for the $199. Don't know. He said, if no trades are made, I won't watch another game. Okay, I won't go that far. I'm going to watch every game, no matter what this team does. but
believe
I won't
me,
be happy about it.
The Heat
go ahead, Rick. I want you.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be honest. Can we be honest? Okay,
Absolutely.
y'all really need to stop being so dramatic in the comments. Seriously, like, get over it. Okay, like, really. Oh, if the Heat don't play, like, thank you for the donation, but you not playing another game, the Heat do not care. Okay, that's like somebody. This is not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. Just stop watching. It is what it is. Believe me, it's not going to affect the Heat salary cap situation. That's one. Okay, and now back to regular men. Here's the thing. I saw a comment earlier today or earlier during the game where it basically said the Heat are pooped. In a way, they are. And to kind of piggyback off of what Ariel was saying a little earlier in the season, I think everybody has the benefit of the doubt as to why they're playing a certain way, good or bad, because realistically, we can still apply that. Once things start to level out later into the season, a lot of those excuses start to fade away. So you're absolutely right in that regard. I was one of those people that was saying, hey, let's not get too excited over how we're playing in the first 10, 15 games of the season because it's too early to render a verdict, especially in these exceptional circumstances. So ultimately, right now where we're at, heading into the trade deadline, this team, as I've been saying, peaked. It peaked in the finals last year when the great equalizer existed and no one had to travel. No one had to worry about the rigors of NBA playoff basketball in normal circumstances, right? The thing is, no one is surprised at this Heat team anymore. No one is surprised at Tyler Hero anymore. He's made some improvements in terms of rebounding and stuff like that. But as we saw tonight, there were some plays that was like, whoa, Tyler, what are you doing? We ain't never did that before. Why are you doing that now? You know? Look, the trade deadline is later. I think it's this Thursday. I believe we're going to be having, I think we're going to be having a
trade deadline special.
A trade deadline special, and it's going to be an interesting conversation to have. But here's the thing. While it is absolutely true that in the last 15 or so games, the Heat have been, I think it was 11-4 I saw.
It was 11-4.
Right. Yeah. No, here's the thing. That's good, right?
They got fed off a lot of bad teams.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Heat are a decent team. They were supposed to beat a lot of those teams. Now, you can include LA and some of those. And here's the thing. I've been critical because in many ways I've been very cynical about a lot of the wins this season. Miami, and call me a Knicks fan all you want, who cares at this point? They weren't supposed to win that game against LA a couple of weeks back. LA lost that game. On paper, you're not supposed to beat that team. They're better, right? But don't let that condition you into thinking this Heat team is better than they really are. Okay, if you go into this thinking, oh, we got to the finals last year, we have high expectations, all this other stuff. No, this roster ain't the team you think they are.
I honestly believe that that's what happened to a lot of us, in which we came into the season with finals expectations, and this is not a finals team as currently constructed. Ariel, who played the worst game of the night, Kelly, Tyler, or Duncan?
For me, it was Tyler.
You're just asking me to tell you which shit stinks the most. I'm gonna go with Duncan, man, because with him, it's getting to a point where this can probably be applied for 2 out of the 3 guys in question here. Actually, you know what? I take it back. Kendrick Nunn's improved defensively, so he gives you a little bit there. His playmaking's a little bit better. He'll make a few good passes and whatnot during the game. Kelly, while I hate his guts, can do some decent things from time to time. If Duncan Robinson isn't making shots, he torpedoes, he sabotages your offense because
doesn't give you anything else.
There is no other function for him on the court if he's not making shots. Now, we've all been screaming, maybe not this season, but in the past, this was a thing on 5 Reasons and in Heat Media, was that Duncan has to shoot. He has to take more shots. He's been doing that lately. He's just not making them. And man, I swear, if they don't do something, to either fix the roster and make it make sense to pay him or move him so that you don't have to pay him this summer, I think it's a terrible mistake. I think it's a huge mistake, and he loses all of whatever's left of his trade value goes out the window once that cost-controlled asset becomes an 18 to 20 million per year player.
Okay, so I want to acknowledge William Collier for the $5 dono. He said, "Where are the Heat going to find assets worth a damn to trade for a good player?" I mean, they have assets, and it kind of ties into what I wanted to talk about with Jay Royal King's comment that Manny agreed with. He said, "We'll be all right. Our young dudes are growing." And that's fine. It's not that we don't want to acknowledge that the young dudes are growing. It's in comparison to the expectations that we have for this team and their contributions that is becoming the problem. Like their growth, if we're planning on winning anything, we don't have time to wait on their growth anymore. Like their growth, for where we think their growth should have gone this year, we don't have time to wait on that shit if we're planning on competing during Jimmy's era. Because they look a lot further. Yeah, they look a lot further away now than they did when we were in the bubble. Milos, thank you for the $5 dono. He said we need to get Duncan's podcast canceled on YouTube. And I want to thank my guy Poetic Lifestyle, Kelly plus Duncan plus Hero. They are all bad. They all played bad. Yes, they did. Gad, I want to make sure that we get to you, bro. Who played the worst game out of those two?
Listen, Kelly played poorly, but I'm not going to single him out. I think this game specifically should be on Duncan and Hero, because Duncan, although he hit two threes late to kind of get us in the game and then give us the lead, he also just got absolutely destroyed in off-ball coverage with Justin Holiday, gave up 2 straight threes back-to-back. And that is something that happens. It's not a fluke. It's not something that happens once every now and again. This is game after game. He is out of position. He's not athletic enough defensively, and he doesn't really know which ways to compensate for that. There's no counterpunch for him defensively. Teams are putting him and Hero on an island to defend, and they are getting absolutely cooked. And I do want to touch on one thing, because I'm not really singling out one of these guys. Between Hero and Tyler, first of all, I do not like when they play on the floor together. I just don't think it is the right way to go about the offense. Second of all, Gabe Vincent and Kendrick Nunn, for me, once again, played better defense than before. Like, you guys know I'm not like a huge pro Kendrick Nunn guy. I'm not a huge pro Gabe Vincent guy. But at what point does Spo get out of this, oh, I only trust these guys at the end of games, and just play whoever is playing better? Like when these guys stop hitting shots, they stop playing.
Yeah.
At least Kendrick and Gabe have something to prove, at least when they're on the floor. That's my thing. It is so frustrating that, and then obviously with the timeout at the end, but why are you not playing the best players that night? It really just does not make sense to me. I understand the whole trust thing is something that you want to do, but if they haven't earned your trust on that specific night, why the hell are they getting minutes at the end of the game? Because it's been torpedoing our late game offense and our late game defense.
I think you made several good points in there where you were talking about, because I do want to kind of like towards the end get to some of the positive players that we saw tonight, but this wasn't an overall positive game, so I'd rather stick to the topic at hand. And I think you mentioned something very important. Again, we saw a late game situation in which Spo had a timeout that he did not use. And since you brought it up, I want to start with you, and then we'll go in reverse order to the one that we just did and talk about why Spo did not call that goddamn timeout and let Jimmy run up there and shoot a 3-point at the end of regulation. So, Gad, we'll start with you.
I don't know. I mean, you look at what Spo wants to do. He wants Duncan and Hero to kind of take that three. And then for some reason at the end of the game, he doesn't call timeout and he lets Jimmy Butler take a pull-up three. I mean, you're playing a losing game there. And it's not the first time it happened this season, so I'm not all that surprised. But damn, you have to be able to look up at the clock and call timeout. I guess they're saying the ref ignored it.
Yeah, he was trying to call
Scream louder.
It's the second time that's happened, I believe, this season.
Scream louder.
Yeah, well,
you got to get that timeout.
Yeah, there's something
Jimmy has to call timeout. Something.
There's something interesting about that. Gad, here's the thing. One thing I do know about Spo and the way these possessions tend to play out. We've all seen in the past how Spo actually likes taking advantage of those kind of plays where it doesn't allow the defense to settle in. So to be fair to Jimmy and I guess some of the other players, a lot of those situations, Spo just tells them to just go. It's not every day that Spo will call that timeout to set everything up because as we saw in the last few trips down the floor, the Pacers seem to have had an answer for the Heat every single time. I think Miles Turner might have had 2-3 blocks. He's the league leader on blocks. He would have,
he had like 3 on Tyler alone.
Yeah, he would have been waiting for them at the rim. The team would have figured out how to settle. So in that regard, I can understand. That said, I think we also have to be, even-handed and say that was a failure on Lauren Holtkamp because I saw a Tim Reynolds tweet that showed Spo doing this. Holtkamp is running right behind Spo. She can see this. So when the NBA officials account tweets later today or tomorrow, they're probably going to say a timeout should have been acknowledged and recognized and called. Would that have made a difference? Honestly, with the way the game was going, we were probably going to miss that potential game winner anyways. That missed Jimmy free throw told me everything I needed to know.
That's fair enough too, because I think that was a we could have won the game. Yeah, Lauren. Good job, Manny.
My God,
I'm convinced that she hates the Miami Heat anyway. It seems like she
was out of there. That's a full sprint. That's
but that's a full timeout, like right in her face. So I miss Christian Cardis' dono, and he told me about it in the comments. So I want to thank him for the $1.99 dono. He said he convinced Duncan is a spy for the KK Celtics. That's funny. I want to also thank our bra for the $4.99 dono. He said Waspo doesn't sit Tyler and Duncan some games the same way he sat none. Teach them a lesson too. They need to do better than this. I think it's primarily because we need their offense in order to be the best version of ourselves, and I think that's a very big part of it. So, Brian, where were you on the timeout, fake timeout, not called timeout, whatever, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I like everybody else. Like I would say that there should have been a timeout call, but I guess if he called it and Lauren and the ref just didn't see it or ignored it or whatever, then there's not much that Spo could have really done in that situation. So I don't really fault him if he attempted that.
Okay, so I want to kind of address a point that Ricky made too, because he's right. Spo doesn't really. Sometimes he does allow them to play in situations like that in the late game situation. Just allow people to go, and that dates back to the Big Three era too. Like he would just let them play. I guess my question is, should he? Like in a situation like this where you know the implications of this game, if you lose it, you drop seed and you lose. You need this game to remain in the 4 seed. Should Spo do something like that? And Ricky, since you brought it up, I guess I'll go to you.
I'm sorry. Say that part again. I'm not even gonna lie. I was reading a private chat. My bad.
No, that's cool. Yeah, no, I just read it too after I asked you the questions. but no, I was saying that Spo doesn't call those timeouts like you pointed out. Should he though, especially in a game of this magnitude where the 4th seed is on the line? You know how wishy-washy the seeding has been. Like, should Spo be more conscious of situations when he does and does not call a timeout to try and settle the team and get a good shot?
Yeah, you know what? I honestly think it really is a judgment call, and that's something that falls on the coach and maybe even the players. I know a couple of weeks back we've kind of drifted away from this conversation, but we were talking briefly a little while ago about whether or not you need a true floor general on the floor with you out there as an extension of the coaching staff. A floor general probably would have had that kind of court awareness and time clock awareness to make that timeout if he senses that Spo was trying to call timeout and wasn't being recognized. So I think, like I said, first it's a judgment call, but at the same time, I think this brings up something that, at least as far as I'm concerned, has never truly gone away. It's that this team doesn't have a pure point guard / floor general type of player. We've got Jimmy running the offense, but that's different than being a Chris Paul type, Lonzo Ball type floor general that you can trust to. Yeah. No, to be fair, Kyle Lowry too, to be able to be an extension of the coach on the floor. We don't have that at this moment. And hopefully we can do something like that.
Yeah, I want to acknowledge big Brian Drake's $5 dono. He said Dunk, Hero, KO need to shoot 2s first, then move out to the 3. How close are we getting practice, Jimmy? How close are we to getting practice, Jimmy? Sign Boogie, please. I think we're at a point. I think Jimmy is professional enough not to show his frustration with his teammates publicly, but I have no doubt in my mind that Jimmy Butler has probably talked about the way. I'm just okay. So what I'm saying
Minnesota?
is this team.
It's a respect thing here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're built different down here. You know what I mean? Like, he respects him enough because they can have these conversations in the locker room without anybody taking it personal or whatever. But I think he respected this organization enough not to do that publicly. But I 100% believe that he is having conversations with teammates, coaches, and everybody in that building about the way that this team is being played. And I'm pretty sure that that's a two-way conversation. So, Ariel, I know you love to talk transactions and whatnot. Based on tonight's game, what are you looking forward to most about Thursday, and potentially, and what you could potentially see getting done here?
I'm looking forward to any deal that gets Kelly Olynyk and Duncan Robinson the hell off this team. As far as no, me, you got the wrong guy.
That's the wrong. That's Ariel Latias 1. Different.
Yeah, that was my other me. So
gotcha.
As far as transactions, I mean, I think that right now, currently, like, there's more than one hole on the roster. The biggest need at the moment is a guard who elevates their floor both defensively at the position and can get downhill, create offense without having to rely on other players, and can get to the rim, get to the free throw line, and generate offense when everything goes haywire for this team and they forget how to play basketball for 6-minute stretches. So I'm looking very strongly at guys like, I mean, I would love Kyle Lowry, Victor Oladipo. I don't know quite how realistic it is. I mean, I have no information as to what's being discussed, but I would imagine that if you're the Heat, I mean, they're way smarter than any of us are in that front office. They have to be looking into moves like that because, man, a Kyle Lowry would elevate the floor of this team substantially and the ceiling. He just makes them so much better. A lead ball handler who would help with the turnovers, taking care of the ball and getting the ball to guys in spots where they can be successful. And he's a gamer, man. Like, he does all the intangibles, takes charges, does everything, fires your team up, is a leader on the court. If he wants to be moved, it's going to be really interesting to see where he's going to want to be moved, because I feel like Toronto would probably honor his request as far as that goes. So we know there's a relationship with Jimmy. We know about all of that, and he seems like he would fit the bill for a Miami Heat type player. So those are a couple of guys that I'm keeping an eye on. Lonzo Ball, super interesting as well.
Yeah, I love Lonzo Ball. Addition by subtraction, just trade Dunk and KO for a bag of chips. Thank you, Jonathan Ramlakan. I think I'm on that too. Brian, what are you looking forward to most about Thursday?
I think, like Ariel said, I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting a Lowry or Oladipo. I think that, I wouldn't be too excited about like a Rudy Gay move. I really, really think they need to upgrade that guard spot. Um, I know a lot has been made about another big. I don't necessarily think that's a huge focus. I know that they're probably going to wait till the buyout market, but I don't know so much about a LaMarcus Aldridge. I'm at this point, I'm dead focused on that guard spot, and I really think that getting an extra shooter when guys like Duncan Robinson, if you don't trade him, or Kelly Olynyk or Tyler Hero are off, you can sub someone in there that can hit a wide open three. So that's kind of where I'm focused, but I'm not too hopeful.
Jay Royals King, he annoys me because he does this to me on both these streams and he does it to me on Facebook too. So it's also like he just trolls. But we got a couple of donos to read before I throw this to Gad. So we want to thank Alex Campbell for the $4.99 dono. He said, I believe the offense needs to actually run more sets for Tyler like they do for Duncan. They basically make Tyler eat off of scraps on offense. I think Tyler's able to create a lot more offense initially than Duncan is, so they don't have to run sets for Tyler as much as opposed to just running a high screen and roll for him and him being able to create offense that way. Thank you, Jamal1482 for the $4.99 dono. He said the Heat may suck right now, but you guys don't. Shout out to y'all for breaking down each game and giving us perspective. Jamal, we really appreciate you, bro. Thank you guys for joining us in the comments as always, because we love having you here and you guys make the show so much better. Kendall Smith, $5 dono. He said, if you could get Lowry through trade and Aldridge from buyout, would you ship Goran in a package deal for Oladipo? Listen, talking about trading Goran Dragic is the easy way to get canceled by Heat Twitter, so I will not do it. Who else?
I'll do it.
I'll do it too, but you go ahead, Ricky.
Yeah, read your guy HM's dono. We are getting a lot of donos right now. You guys are blowing up the dono thing right now. We got
popular trades on here.
Yeah.
Wait. HM has the floor, guys. Everybody shut up. Okay. HM said, this is my least favorite Heat team of all time, and I followed the team since 1991. That's a long time. I normally enjoy watching the Heat regardless, but they need Debo bad. Yeah, watching this team completely just bottom out of their expectations from the beginning of the season is painful to watch. I 100% agree. I have not been watching since 91. I wasn't even born then, but this shit is painful to watch on a nightly basis.
Ricky, you got the $10. You got the $10 dono from Richard Campbell.
Oh, I got to read it? All right, sweet.
Yes,
okay. I think Tyler is worse than last year. I don't know why Spo closed with the Tyler Duncan combo. That combo has cost us so many games this year in crunch time. Other teams know it too. Pick just one.
You can address it real quick before I throw the next one. Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, I understand why Spo does it because it's at this point the closest thing to an offensive explosion as this team can get if they're both on. Problem has been lately is that they haven't been on. They've been pretty bad or pretty, problematic. Terrible. So we are now seeing the famine part of what could otherwise be a feast or what otherwise was a feast all throughout the playoffs last year. So that's just, it is what it is right now.
No, the boy Adam jumped in the chat. He thought something did somewhere say trades. Y'all catch Adam on Thursday. He's going to be on the trade deadline special too. Brian, you got the $4.99 Christian Carter's dodo.
Is it possible for us to flip some of the kids for Depot and then flip Depot and Hero for insert disgruntled superstar? I mean, it's definitely possible to flip some of the kids for Depot. I don't know which team would want Depot and Hero. I mean, I'm sure a lot of teams would want Depot and Hero, but I don't know who exactly you're getting. But I'm with that. If you could turn Depot and Hero to something a lot better, I'm all for it. But as far as the first part of that question, absolutely, they can turn some of the kids into Depot.
You wouldn't be able to do the second part of that question, though, until the offseason because there's a certain amount of time that has to elapse before you can trade a player a second time. So it would either have to be a 3-team trade where Depot gets rerouted to the third team or separate transaction happens in the offseason.
Right.
For those of you who don't know, Ariel is our post-game show capologist. So whenever we have questions about the cap and trades and stuff that we don't quite understand, we're all going to shut up and let Ariel talk. So I did say I want to get to some of the positives. Yeah, follow Ariel the GOAT on Twitter at Ariel Latias too. I did want to get to some of the positives that we're talking about tonight. Oh, let's put up Adam's comment before so that we can talk about it. He says, gut feeling. They're actively putting Kelly in trades because they know they're getting LaMarcus Aldridge. I think that is something very interesting to keep your eyes on, guys. But let's talk about some of the positives from tonight's game. Then we're going to talk about tomorrow's game or the game against Phoenix, and then we're going to close out. So thank you, Kendall Smith, for the $2 dono. He said, why not trade Hero for Collins?
Boy, I would if I could.
I mean,
Yeah.
why not? We all
Why
would.
not?
No, they are undefeated since Nate McMillan took over. He's not going anywhere, and
Yeah, he's
neither
not
is
leaving.
Lonzo Ball.
Right,
Exactly.
As much as I want them.
they're in the 4th seed right now. So let's talk about some of the players who actually played well tonight. So you can take your pick, and I'll throw this to Ariel first. Ariel, you can take your pick between Jimmy, Bam, Kendrick Nunn, who I believe played an okay game, not great, but he played solid, and Gabe Vincent. Those are the only 4 players of note that I care to even talk about. So which one do you want to talk about tonight?
Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm probably gonna go with the Heat's best player tonight, Bam Adebayo.
Okay.
I thought that was his best game in a while. Definitely, obviously, since he's been back. Was really good on the boards. He was aggressive. The mid-range jumper looked great today. We love to see that. That's something that I think, at the very least, I was concerned about because the efficiency has been dropping on that shot since a blazing hot start to the season from the mid-range. The more the more he takes it, the more it shows an aggressive mentality on his end, and it opens up more of the game for the Heat. Because if he catches the ball at the elbow and every single time he's looking to hand the ball off to Duncan, then the defense knows that he's not looking to shoot it, and they know how to play it. They know that they can show hard on that screen because Bam's not going to face the basket and look to score. So that was a positive development he had. I mean, man, the dunk on Sabonis, come on, bro. Like,
It's a damn shame we lost the game. 'Cause
and
that
the
would've
refs,
been-
yeah, and the refs really
Mwah.
tried to take that from the Heat, man. I was ready to go over to Miami and fight somebody.
He had
But,
another alley-oop poster too, like that.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Yep.
was nasty, bro.
Yep. So when Bam's going like that, when he's in a mood and he feels like being aggressive, and he can be the best player on the court on any given night. That's why we're so hard on him, is because it's there, it's in him. He can do it when he chooses to. It's just a matter of him having that aggressive
both at the same
mentality
time.
and looking to be that way.
Bam shot 21 shots tonight, and I loved every goddamn minute of it. Like, I could not get enough of Bam shooting it. Like, look, bro, I know we give him shit every time he's not aggressive, so I want to make sure I prop my guy up when he is. So, Bam, the way that you played tonight is exactly what this fan base is looking for from you, bro. You are capable, and we believe that you could do this every night if you so chose. So
Wait,
please continue.
Can I comment one thing? I think part of the reason why Bam was so damn aggressive tonight,
because he hates Miles Turner.
Well, yes, but they also didn't run too many dribble handoffs. It was a lot of, we're going to give you the ball on the elbow, we're going to give you the ball on the block, go to work. And he was putting Sabonis in a blender. I mean, it was bullying. And then even if he had somebody else on him, he was still going to the rim. I think this is the kind of tweak. I know offensively we didn't shoot the ball well, but this is the kind of tweak that I've been alluding to that can kind of help unlock Bam, because he played great offensively, and I think he was kind of coached into attack mode. It wasn't something that happened by accident. So I just want to see that moving forward. But anyways, we'll keep going.
No, that's absolutely positive.
What does that say about the team that Bam was plus 22 and they lost a game?
They were trash. That was the problem.
Same thing. Same thing you can learn about this team after he scores 40 and they lose. I mean, so look, I think my guy was Bam tonight. But here's the thing, I believe in balance. So I'm glad that Royal, you were bigging him up. I'm gonna take a little bit more of a tough love approach to it, because here's the thing. Bam's getting paid big bucks. He knows what he needs to do. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yay, Bam, all right, good job. No, that's expected of you. You know what I mean? Like, it's fair. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, no, no, this is what we need from our all-star, right? Our all-star every night. 22, like, this is the kind of play that we get every time. When I saw him attack the basket and put Miles and pretty much send Miles Turner back to his mama, like, I was just like, you know what? He can do that every night, every single night. It doesn't matter who is guarding him. He can do that every night. He has the ability. And the one thing I know that pretty much convinced me that this guy had game and the ability was when he was still training with Team USA a year or so ago. And this guy operating on the low block, turned around, faced up, and is crossing over dudes like MJ against Bird in '86, a 6'9" center. If he can do that, then give it to him on the block, let him go to work, and let's start riding this guy to victory. Because Jimmy, and I know I get it, I know I'm running, but and here's the thing, we can't keep riding Jimmy for too long, because as I've been warning about for the last 2 weeks, and I know part of it is a bit and everything, but you keep riding on Jimmy that long, the injuries are going to start piling up. That's just basketball law 101. You saw him late in that overtime, he was limping a little bit because I think he fell on his hip that led to the free throws.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna pile up the more you rely on Jimmy to average a triple-double every night just so you have a chance. So you need more from Bam and you need more from the trade market on Thursday.
Absolutely. So, want to thank our guy HM for the $5 dono. Gad, I know you probably can't see it, so I'll read it. He said, "Can we get this Bam? Can we get this Bam every game? He would be an all NBA guy if he did." I agree, guys. He spent much less time trying to create for others, and I think that should be part of what Spo does as an adjustment is make it less of his job to create for others. Create for your damn self. Like just go out there and just take over the game whenever you feel like it, and we'll work around that. Brian. So no more Bam because we got a lot of people do Bam. You got to pick between Jimmy, Gabe, Vincent. We had added one in the comments that I forgot. Trevor Ariza, who was very good, and Kendrick Nunn. So you can choose any of those guys to talk about.
You know, I'm actually going to go Gabe Vincent. You know, I've been kind of hard on him, but you know, he actually is a pretty decent defender. Took a charge. He hit an open three, which is more than I can say for a lot of other guys on the team. So, you know, there are times in this game where I was like, you know what, a Gabe Vincent for Tyler Hero or Duncan swap just for a couple minutes actually would not be the worst idea. You know, I don't know that he's going to get minutes going forward, but I feel like as of late. Oh, also, I just want to say he looked for Bam inside. I don't know if it was a dunk or a layup, but I feel like that's been missing as well. I feel like a lot of times guys don't look for Bam when either he's wide open at the rim or has a small on him. So I thought that was a good play because generally he's just attack. So yeah, I mean, going forward, I really think that Spo needs to look at him as kind of a relief option when other guys don't have it going.
Yeah, we also didn't get to see our guy KZ block Paula today. If it does a DMP coach's decision,
sad.
I don't know what was going on with that.
Definitely would have won the game if he was playing.
Obviously,
About 20.
Gad, who's your guy tonight?
I mean, I'm not gonna say he played the greatest game in the world, but I also didn't think he was given the opportunity to do so. I think Kendrick Nunn, like the one thing that I want to see from these guys that may be struggling shooting wise is how can you contribute? How can you add value in other ways? And Kendrick Nunn was able to stay in front of guys defensively, and he had a few moments where he had a few nice shots. I believe he had like a three. Did he have a three?
None. Yeah, he hit one.
One of two from three.
He was 3 of 6 from the field, so he shot 50%.
That's fine. I honestly don't know why he wasn't given more minutes this game. I know I kind of mentioned that earlier. I think Gabe and Nunn should have played a little bit more. Like it just the trust thing is just becoming too much of a stubborn flaw for Spo because you just have to play the guys that are contributing in other different ways. And if the shots aren't falling, play the guy that is playing the better all-around game. And tonight, that was Kendrick Nunn and Gabe Vincent, and they weren't on the floor in those crucial moments. Not in enough moments at all. I mean, 41 minutes combined. Duncan Robinson had 40 minutes on his own. Like, why is Duncan playing 40 minutes? Why?
Yeah. And Tyler Hero played 36.
Too much. Way too much. So
go ahead.
I just want to see the guys that can contribute on both ends of the floor play. Now, Hero had a few good moments defensively. He also got moments where he was absolutely torched defensively. And Duncan was just getting killed the entire night. It's nothing new for him. But yeah, I want to shout out Kendrick Nunn. I like his energy when he's on the floor. There's a few moments where he might not make the best decision, but that's fine. If you're trying to contribute on the other end, I will give you the benefit of the doubt more often than not.
That's true. Duncan just missed another 3 aerial. So I'm surprised nobody took this route because, I mean, we had 2 people go Bam, so obviously he was left out. But I'm going to take Jimmy Butler. That man is a goddamn warrior. You hear me? Like, the man had 21 points and 15 rebounds and 7 assists to add on to that. Like, Jimmy Butler does whatever is required of him to try and win a game. And it's just a shame when you get performances like what we saw from some of the other guys tonight where he can't pull out games, especially in the season where he's playing the best basketball of his career, hands down. And at this point, I'm pretty comfortable saying that this is the best version of Jimmy Butler that the league has ever seen. And so I think consistently, as far as his ability to create, he's able to dictate the game in a way that I didn't think was possible before he got here, but now he's doing it on a consistent level. And I just know that's who he is. So let's move on to the next game. We got the Phoenix Suns coming in. Or are we going to Phoenix? No, the Phoenix Suns are coming to us. Give me you guys predictions for that game, score, who plays well. Ricky, we're going to start with you.
The Suns are doing pretty good this season. They've had overall a pretty solid year. It would be easy for me to just say the Suns are going to go away and win. But you know what? I think at this point, right now, I think there are way too many variables in Miami for me to confidently say that the Heat are going to beat the Phoenix Suns. I think you know what you're going to get out of Phoenix more often than you are out of Miami this season. Is Bam going to be aggressive? Is Jimmy going to be healthy enough to finish? Are the two shooters in the starting lineup going to show up? Is Kendrick Nunn going to have a good game? Is Gabe Vincent going to be playable? Is KZ even going to play? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. And yes, I know they're winners of 11 of their last 14 games. That's true. But the Suns are not one of those teams. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, the Suns are.
I need to be proven otherwise.
Yeah. So we want to shout out David Cruz for the 199. Don't know. He said hero peak since the bubble. Harden should be here. Don't go breaking my heart. Like we don't need to talk about that right now. Ariel, what do you got for me versus Phoenix?
I'm gonna go with the Suns winning because the Heat are going to be short a few white guys who can't shoot because they're going to win. They're going to have been traded to another team. So I'm going to go with the Phoenix Suns win. Devin Booker and Chris Paul give whatever's left of the Heat's guard rotation work, and yeah. But don't be upset because help will be on the way, I hope.
Oh, okay.
All right. Brian, you get to go. You get to go last. You're the grand finale. Yeah.
CP3, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, who's one of the most underrated players in the NBA, by the way. Mikal Bridges is a beast. Who else do they have? They got DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder in the corner. Nah, I would be very pleasantly surprised if the Heat won this game. The Suns are a damn good basketball team. They're well coached. They're relatively deep. They can shoot the three ball well. They can beat you inside, outside, hit the mid range when it counts. They're one hell of a team. So if we beat the Suns, I will be impressed. But I'm not rocking with the Heat in this next game. I hope they win, but I would be surprised if they did.
The Suns are a good team. Like I want to make sure that point is made clear. The Suns are a good team. They are 27-13. They are a very good team.
It's the best team we've played in a while.
Right. So
since the Utah game.
Yeah. So Brian, where are you with the next game?
Yeah, I got the Suns. It's just not even. Listen, I'm fully expecting DeAndre Ayton to have like 20 and 20. Devin Booker and CP3 are going to absolutely destroy all of Miami's guards. Jay Crowder is probably going to have a revenge game. What's he shooting, like 32% from three? We can fully expect that.
68% from three on, was it Monday, Tuesday? When did they play?
What am I hearing?
Tuesday. No, but that's what I'm saying. Jay Crowder is going to destroy this team from the corners. Like, it's just going to be horrible. Yeah, I fully expect everyone on the Suns to play very well. I mean, not only because they've been playing well as of late or just in general this whole season, but we know the outcome of this game. It's going to be ugly.
Yes, we do know the outcome of this game. And by we, I mean me. The rest of y'all are out y'all rabbit-ass mind. The Heat finna blow that shit out because they need a win, and I think they go out there and get it. Look, honestly, I said the same thing about this game in terms of Jimmy Butler being sick of losing. I think this loss kind of like it's going to put it to a head with him, and I think he's ultra aggressive because he knows that that our back's up against the wall at this point, and we're playing a solid team. We need a win against a good team, and Jimmy Butler is going to deliver that for us. I won't pretend like I'm confident in that at all, but I'm just going to say it, and then I'm going to move on. So, everybody, time to pay the bills. Ricky, tonight you get to pay Miami Grill, brother.
Oh, snap. All right. Well, here, the best way I can sell Miami Grill is by using a personal testimony. For those of you that have grown up in South Florida, you're probably well aware of Chick-fil-A waffle fries. And you might think that they corner the market on waffle fries. Not so with Miami Grill. Miami Grill's waffle fries will seriously challenge that notion of Chick-fil-A supremacy. I'm going to read this since this is what they pay me to do. We bring Miami to the table. If you're craving it, we're making it. We serve the best of everything from everywhere. Cheesesteaks, Greek gyros, chicken wings, and everything in between. You are always craving something from Miami. And look, Miami has a lot of good content, whether it be sports, whether it be women, whether it be the food. Miami Grill represents all of that. And when you put that in your mouth, your tongue will thank you.
Why did you have to say Euros, Ricky?
Because he's smart and he knows how to say it.
Gyros!
Because I just came back from Europe, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Greece is down the street from where I live.
Mr. Worldwide.
He's a man of culture.
All right, already. All right. Brian, you get Biscayne Bay Brewing.
Biscayne Bay Brewing. Drinking is great, as I said many times on this podcast before. Listen, some people drink wine, some people drink whiskey, some people drink Hennessy. I think Hennessy and whiskey are the same. I don't know. I'm 23. I just drink whatever's off the shelf. But if you drink Miami Bay Brewing, that specific drink will make you
Miami
really damn
Miami Bay Brewing? Never heard of
Biscayne
it.
Bay Brewing.
Oh,
there you go, bro.
no.
I got you, King. I got
Biscayne
you.
Bay Brewing. Listen, you look really cool when you're holding the beer. That was my point. As compared to all those other drinks, you look really damn cool when you're holding the beer. It's got an amazing taste. I got sent some by a source in Miami, and I can tell you it is the best damn beer I've ever had in my whole life. So I'm telling all of you, you got to experience the greatness that is Biscayne Bay Brewing.
Okay, I like that. So, for some people who don't know, Miami Grill was formerly known as Miami Subs. For all the OGs out there, they are a sponsor of this. And so, as you guys saw, my guy Ricky spinning around in one of those premium Vertigear chairs, we wanted to make sure that you guys check out the affiliate link that will be located in the description. Make sure you check out these Vertigear chairs. Super comfortable, super roomy. They come in several different colors. You can custom design yours. You can also use their chair creation tool so that you can find the perfect chair for your needs. The chair is super easy to build. I'm sitting in the PL 1000. Plenty of leg room. The chair is wonderful. The material is wonderful. Doesn't heat up on you. But yeah, make sure you guys check out vertigear.com. Use the affiliate link, and then you'll make sure you'll be able to see some of the other products that they have to offer you guys. So let's do some of these show promos before we get up out of here. So we'll do the shoot around. Gad, you go ahead.
I'm gonna phone a friend and let Ariel do this one.
No, I'm gonna let Ariel do walkouts and knockouts because he's on that show.
Yeah,
okay, I will be
right.
phoning myself then. What we do is on game day morning, we will post something talking about topics relevant to the Miami Heat. So obviously we got our shit whacked on Friday. We didn't want to talk about the X's and O's today. We talked about what we think the Heat should be targeting at the deadline. Ariel referenced Kyle Lowry, maybe Victor Oladipo. I went out on a limb, said my guy Norman Powell. I like to call him Normal Powell, but he has been shooting everything but normal. 45% from 3 on 6.5 attempts a game. My man is a legitimate bucket, unlike the so-called bucket that we currently have in Miami. And we will be talking Tuesday morning, maybe some X's and O's, maybe some trade reaction. Hopefully we get a trade over the next 24 hours or so. But we will definitely be posting on Tuesday morning, so make sure you check into that.
Wonderful. Ariel, tell us about walkouts and knockouts, brother.
Walkouts and Knockouts is a pre-fight preview show. We, Jonathan Ramlakan and myself, you can follow him on Twitter at 3Piece Combo. You should know who he is if you watch our shows. And we do these pre-fight shows where we preview UFC events. We'll do it for every UFC event that's happening. We've got an event just about every weekend now. So you can look out for that every Saturday around 4 p.m. Huge event this weekend. We've got coming up Stipe Miocic, Francis Ngannou for the UFC heavyweight title. That is an insane fight. You've got Tyron Woodley, Vicente Luque, Sugar Sean O'Malley, Thomas Almeida. Just a stacked card this Saturday. So keep an eye out for Walkouts and Knockouts Saturdays, 4 p.m. on 5 Reasons YouTube.
Fabulous. And if you guys are interested in the trade deadline, as most of you are, you'll probably be able to catch myself, members of the Clutch Corner, members of the Skyforce, and the members of the 5 on the Floor pod. We're all going to be on this huge trade deadline stream. I think it starts at 1 o'clock. The 5 on the Floor guys are going to kick it off. Then the Clutch Corner is going to take over, and then the Skyforce is going to come on after that. So make sure you guys are on the lookout for that 1 o'clock this Thursday. You're going to hear all your trade news for the trade deadline special. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Your subscriptions do help. If you guys want to make sure you catch all the videos, put on the bell notification. Thank you guys so much for joining us in the comments, always making the show more awesome than it could be. Thank you to my guy Ariel, Brian, Gad, and Ricky J. Mark for joining me. I'm the host, Roy A. Shepard. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.